Amigos de teleSUR en todo el mundo, bienvenidos. Aquí estamos nuevamente de la mano del 10. ¿Cómo anda Diego?
Hello, friends of teleSUR. We're here once again in de la Mano Del Diez.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here once again. And this is episode number 23. Episode number 23 of this program. And so far, we didn't have to take any of our words back because we haven't said things that people can consider false, because the things that we are saying, we have gotten a huge number of greetings from Colombians, for example. But I would like to tell Colombians that yes, I support Colombia, but I would have done the same thing for Nicaragua, for the Netherlands, because I've lived this in my own flesh and bones. I've been through this already. And that type of crying, this is not something you can fake. They were stripping away something that was mine, just like they did throughout all the game with Colombia. And that's why I felt that it was a theft against me as a fan of football.
It's, you know, this sense of premonition, you know, this idea that we want everything that to be fair, you know, it feels unjust. It destroys preparations of years of training and preparations for many years.
Players and other fans who have carried out all the effort to come here, and they have to come back to reality, and they have to pay for all the bills that it took them to get here in order to follow their national team. And of course, when I speak about Argentina, and this can blow up in our heads every day, it's about to break. It's stop firing people and many other things. But either way, the World Cup is worth it. Whatever you can do, any sacrifice for the World Cup is worth it. We do this for football.
Did you speak with FIFA?
I'm going to have a meeting tomorrow with Infantino. But yes, I've spoken to some people in FIFA. I've also spoken to Van Basten, who also has a lot of things to say. We all want to participate. And this is what I'm going to tell him tomorrow. I'm going to Infantino tomorrow about this, because this is what I told him first, and now I'm going to say this again. Because if not, I'm going to leave my position as captain of Legends.
This is a very special day. They welcomed you with this shirt, huh? Everybody's in front of the camera.
A wonderful t-shirt. A wonderful t-shirt. I'm going to wear it later. Here it is. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful, Diego, and people get to see everything that happens behind cameras, the people who see you every day, and the people who deal with you every day. Well, you know, they sort of fall in love with it, and this is very good, because until you get to know him very deeply, you don't really know how Diego is until the camera shuts off, and it is very good. It is very noble on his behalf. It happened once in the World Cup in Brazil. You know, I was called by the people from public television in Brazil in the World Cup. He said, please don't forget to say hi to Diego on my behalf. Please, I love him. Remember to tell him that, okay?
Yeah, that is wonderful. It is wonderful because there were beautiful times that we spent together. And we were fighting day by day, just like we're doing today. And we're going to continue like this. And I'd like to say hello to all of the lads who were unable to come because things are as they are. But either way, we will have some coffee someday in some place of the world, and we're going to meet once again.
Another very good episode. So some good news that Diego's going to have a very good visit. I think I know him very well, except perhaps his family knows him better than I do. But after the short pause, we'll see this visit, right?
Daniel Artucci.
That would be very
I'm
good.
very, very happy to see him. De la Mano Del Diez.
Here.
Seguimos, amigos de teleSUR.
We're back, friends at teleSUR, again in De la Mano Del Diez. In the same way that we've had very special visits on many an occasion.
That's right, Victor Hugo. This is someone very special of my life. The first time I've met him was in 1984, 1985. And he just interviewed Platini. And he said, well, it's an honor to interview Platini. And then I met him on the beach and I said, listen, come here. I've met Platini. And Platini, whenever you leave, he spits. Listen, I can tell you, I can bear witness of this. And he said, Diego, yes. And I said, hey, come on. And we started having an interview right there. And after that, he called me, and this is a real pleasure to speak with Maradona.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Diego. Thank you very much. Thank you for your introduction. Thank you, Victor Hugo. You know, it is unbelievable. It was 32 years ago that we met. Almost 33, in fact. That was in 1985.
That's right.
And that was right after Mexico in 1986, you know. I was right there at the World Cup, but not with the team with Argentina. I had to follow other teams, and I did have an interview with Platini. And right then I said, it is a true pleasure and an honor to report on Diego Armando Maradona. You know, when he saw me in Belgium, he told me, what the hell are you doing here? Well, I'm still with you. I'm going with the final match. But you've never followed us. And I was like, I was knocked out cold, man. You know? And so Diego just turned around and started leaving. And I was a journalist back then, less than today. But then he just turned around and said, nah, I'm screwing you, man. Then after he said, okay, it is truly a pleasure to report on Platini. And that's how we became friends, and then we followed the team up to the final match. And what things made up for this natural attraction?
Listen, I used to tell him about the things that we were going through, because I need to tell things to someone. But Daniel always looked after me with things that wouldn't have the best position for me. So I think that there's often things that are not very nice to say. And I was someone always that it was very easy to become upset, but he was always a moderator, and he was there my birthday parties, in the birthday parties of my children as well. And whenever I called him for anything, he was always there. He played football with me as well.
Yeah, in fact, it didn't.
He's fast. But to do things when you call him. No, but it's very nice to be friends with him. And after that, we created a friendship that has been there so long. And this is because of honesty, because of our love, the appreciation for one another, as well as because of the kind of professional he is. Because he defends maybe what many of us defend as well. And he isn't doing what the rest of the crowd is doing, just to get the bits out of them. Daniel is a real man, someone who knows how to earn his money by the things he do.
And, can you tell me what these books are?
Of course.
Well, first, this book. I am the Diego of the people. You know, this is the autobiography of this man.
You should be the one holding this one.
And this other one, this one's in Russian, isn't it? Yes, this is the autobiography of Diego. This is the Russian book, which is a real World Cup. My World Cup, my truth.
Mi Verdad. My World Cup, my truth.
And this is the story of how they won their first World Cup. This is the one that is translated into Russian, yes? Yes, they were for selling here in Russia. Victor, there's another statement that we said before, you know, because everything I do is just write what Diego says. Now this is this is really the words of Diego Armando Maradona. You know, you don't read about this. You pretty much hear it as you read it. And I do want to make a small quotation here, because when they won the World Cup, it was a very special moment. That was on Christmas Eve 2 years ago. He invited me over to celebrate with him, and we were all there with his family. And outside of the family, it was Negro Enriquez and me. And he takes a microphone and he speaks towards his family, you know, as if they were an audience, and he starts saying, and I quote, I am Diego Armando Maradona, the man who made 2 goals on the English, and one of the few Argentinians who knows how much a World Cup weighs. And, of course, that is unforgettable. I remember that was the first Christmas Eve without Don Diego and Doña Tota, and, of course, I got the chills. And you said, and I told him, Diego, that's how you start the book. You know, no writer could have come up with that sentence. That's why I'm saying that this is his own speech. Does anyone here believe that the match ball was written by someone else? No, it was all out of his own head. It's his own speech. He stood up there in the bombonera and just started talking. That's what I wrote. And I'm sorry, how much does the World Cup weigh?
It is quite heavy. I cannot really tell you the exact weight. And about the cup, they gave me the cup, the real cup, right? And I was grasping it like this. So then the lads would come, and I was always taking a look after the cup, right? Because Negro Enriquez, he wanted to take and scratch it to see if it was real gold or not. And I told him, yes, it's real gold, come on. And yes, it was heavy. Okay, now, when we were in Estadio América, and we actually were celebrating in the training camp. So we were there, and Grondona came, and he said, Diego, come here for a second, give me the cup. I said, okay. And they changed something there. So then, the cup was not as heavy, but the original cup was already being taken away by FIFA. And I said, come on, Don Julio. Come on, do this elsewhere. You cannot do this here. You have stolen everything. Come on, how can you steal from me as well?
So they give you a replica.
Yeah, I'm positive. So the real one and the weight of the replica.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable. There's always an additional page for every book, huh? We're going to have to add that on the next book, Daniel. This way we can talk to Diego. There's also something else, Victor, Hugo, that has to do with the human being of Maradona. You know, he's very similar to the man in the T-shirt. There is something that is very important for me, and perhaps we can apply it right now, thinking in Messi, for example. A lot of people don't know that Diego was for 2 years and 10 days without playing as part of his team in Europe. No? 2 full years and 10 days because he had a fracture and an hepatitis, of course. He couldn't play until at some point Diego said, this law, I cannot take it anymore. It was also in '85. Diego plays in June of 1982 in a game against Spain. He had his hepatitis episode in Barcelona, then he had his ankle problem, and then there was a series of friendly games. And the Federcacho with Matares at the head, the law said, all right, no, we can only do friendly, only elimination rounds, nothing else. And not even Sandro Pertini is going to prevent me from playing. And what did Diego do? He played a game against Juventus. Yes, he takes a plane into Buenos Aires. He gets to the Centro de Comercio y Empleo.
Yes, I went there.
He plays a friendly game right there against Paraguay. And he went back to the airport. He went to Italy, played on Sunday against Nápoles, and he came back into Argentina, flight on to Buenos Aires.
Napoli against Udinese.
Yes, and then he returns, takes another plane, again into a friendly game with against River and against Chile. He goes against Italy, against Nápoles again, and he goes after that into Colombia, into Bogotá, because he adds into his own selection that was now going to play in the elimination rounds for classification of the World Cup.
I'm used to that. I am used to that. Whenever I'm flying so high, I'm closer to my old man and my mother as well. But yes, indeed. Back then, we didn't have any dates set by FIFA to stop. So Bilardo will call me. You come and then you go back because you can't endure it. And I used to tell Bilardo, come on, but I'm here to play 2 hours. I have to finish the game. And we were fighting for the championship there.
Yeah, of course.
So then I was on the plane and I arrived home, and the first thing that I would do was to become a part of the concentration, to get back all the sleeping time that I required, because back then, Victor Hugo, the moment we were speaking about, you could smoke, you could bring and throw things around. It's not as difficult as it is today. Today, you check for something, and a police officer is directly checking about what you have. It seems like you were robbing a bank. So it's crazy. It's nonsense. So with all of this, I dealt with, and I continue doing so, traveling to every single place I am invited to.
Let's thank Daniel for his presence here. Thank you very much, man.
Listen, we don't have to thank Daniel. Daniel is always here. He's always with us. And I am always peaceful because of this. I've spoken to him, and I spoke with him today, and he said he was coming. And I said, that's great, because I was calling you to the same thing.
It's good to have you here. Thank you, Victor Hugo. Be well. Okay, so Diego, we're going to go into the next pause, and we have to talk some soccer after all, right?
Okay, we will be back de la Mano del Diez.
Oscar Washington
Tavares is a unique technical director, not only because in Russia he joins the select group of directors that led their team to 4 World Cups, but because he managed to join 2 of his passions, both teaching and soccer. That's right, Tavares was also a school teacher while he was a football player. He also won the Libertadores Cup with Peñarol in 1987, and the following year he had his first term as the leader, the coach of the national selection. In 1989, he went into his first World Cup, which would be played in 1990.
Tavares had a virtue. He was able to get over all the mistakes that he had in 90, allowing Casal to be the manager of the team and the players changing different aspects that they should not govern up, not allowing different directors to become a part of the place where they concentrate every day. And additionally, he realized that the squad needed some cleansing, that professionals needed to be there, healthy people who love the shirt.
On March 8th of 2006, we began with the reconstruction of the Uruguay identity in football. There were times in which results were most valuable. The coach came with a project that transcended the sports aspect.
The game is over. Uruguay is the leader. Uruguay is the monarch. Uruguay is the champion of America.
Today, Oscar Washington Tavares follows his vocation, teaching his values to his teams through soccer, through his teaching of football, and he still keeps writing stories in the literature of world football.
Success is not only about results, but about the difficulties that you have to go through in order to get them. The path is the reward. Thank you so much. Uruguay nomás.
Grato personaje.
A great character, huh?
Magnificent. Really, I think that he is great. And when I came from Italy, and Boca was playing, I wanted to see Boca play, and I wanted to say hi to the players, and he was the current manager of Boca, Maestro Tavares. So I was greeting the president, and then I saw Tavares, and I said, "Hello, sir, how are you?" And he said, "Maestro, go ahead." And I was killed with that, because I was shaking. And I said, "No, I just wanted to say hi to the players, that's it." That's why I knew. That's why he set me aside. When the good players come, the big players come, you have to come aside, right? And he killed me with that phrase.
He's a man above average, I'd say, right? He's
incredible. He's an incredible man. And what's happening with Uruguay is not happenstance, not at all. The report stated he is not only creating football players, but men who have to solve problems in their own houses and have to walk down the street and have to do other things that are far away from football, because football is part of our blood. However, the rest of the things, in order to be solved, it's often very, very difficult for us.
Playing in the first division as being a pro player and still a school teacher?
Wonderful.
He probably still has this sense of being a teacher, right?
Of course. Of somehow teaching how someone must behave, how a man must behave. Either you're a good or a bad player, it doesn't matter. Because one thing is scoring a goal or being a defender. This doesn't mean that you're not a great guy for a group. And this is what Maestro Tavares, we need to thank him for that.
What do you think is going to happen tomorrow? Uruguay before France and Brazil and Belgium?
Listen, without Cavani, it's going to be tough. Being injured during a World Cup is terrible. It's very, very hard. It happened to me just one day before playing against Italy in Napoli. Then I had strain here, and I still played, of course. But now Cavani's injuries will not allow him to play. Either way, Uruguay has a very decent squad, and they have Suarez. And Suarez can be able to manage up front. And his replacement, well, the replacement has been found, or not quite found by Cavani, because he's not only playing as a striker, because he's over-demanded the things from himself. And it's because it's muscle fatigue, and it is because of all the work that he has on the team. This is what happened to Cavani.
Yes, he is right in the midst of the game, and right after that, you know,
fight and plays. Fight and plays. He doesn't care. He has to tackle a rival.
And Brazil against Belgium.
Brazil and Belgium. Well, Brazil, I think that they're increasing the way in which they're playing. They're playing better now. And I think that the real issue will be Neymar. And the referees. Referees will surely, after seeing everything that was sanctioned by the American referee, I think this is what will happen during the game. Belgium is not a team with a lot of decision. When they decided to do so, they were able to beat Japan.
Yeah, surely. I mean.
But it cost them, yes. But come on, score twice against Brazil. Try. How can you do that? How?
Yeah, that was funny. That was a funny statement. Now that you say
it's impossible. It's impossible. If you're 2 goals down, it cannot happen. You can do it against Japan, because then Hazard started playing, then Mertens was subbed out, and Fellaini was subbed in, and they have Lukaku, who was able to let the ball go and allow Chadli to score. But this was at the 90th minute. If they do this tomorrow against Brazil, well, they can be gone.
Diego, I do have a question, one more. Now that we were speaking of Master Tavares, is there any mentor that you remember from when you were younger?
Listen, I always remember teacher Elda. Miss Elda was my teacher in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. I really, really cared for her. She was a very nice, she was a fatty, but she was great. She wouldn't allow me to do anything.
Were you a troublemaker?
I was. I've always been a troublemaker. But we would always win games against other schools, of course. So I had some advantage with Elda.
Yeah, mentors really make a place in your heart, huh?
Good teachers. Teachers, those who help you. Listen, I don't want to become over dramatic, but sometimes you go to school without eating. And Miss Elda always gave me some cookies or crackers. I don't know, maybe she saw it in my face.
Wow, that's sad in Latin America, because you know that a little while ago in Buenos Aires they even had to sue a teacher because the kids in the school had abdominal pain and headaches because of not eating enough.
Well, this is just the end of those who want change. Victor Hugo, we could speak about this for hours, and I love to speak about this. I'm not compromised by anything. People will say things, and people will not feel right if they're hungry. That's it.
About the shirt?
I love the shirt. I love the shirt.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
A lot of love, huh?
This is the one that we're going to give you with all those who can text, who can write. Well, you will get this shirt.
So, I have to send regards via social networks into the Caribbean countries, Trinidad and Tobago, Curacao, Haiti, St. Lucia. We have to thank a lot. We have to acknowledge many channels, Timexa, radio and television from Tabasco.
There it is. We invite you for tomorrow, and we send our regards to my directors of Dinamo Brest, a very, very big team, and all Brest. On the 16th, I'm going to be there in Belarus with you.
Can they see us?
Yes, of course, they're watching. They're watching us there. That's why they told me, Diego, why are you sending us greetings? And I said, the president, come on, I am the president. You're not the president. You're just the directors. You're the board. Just to be clear. Okay, so hello, Brest. I will be there. I really love you, and I will be there.
Tomorrow we'll be back.
We will be back tomorrow. De la Mano del Diez.